Hello and welcome back on Planticaly. My name is Amar and we're researching last week's video about how two female scientists revived 2000-year-old plant seeds. I discovered another interesting topic I would like to talk with you about. Maybe you can already hear it. I have a sore throat and I'm a bit sick, so I have to cut this video short, but I hope you can understand it. So let's get right to the topic about how a team of Russian scientists did the impossible in 2012, so about 11 years ago, which is quite remarkable for it happened 11 years ago, nearly a dozen years ago, and not really a lot of people talk about it. And as you can already see from the title of the video, it's about how this team of scientists revived 32,000-year-old plant seeds. So another 30 years added to those initial 2,000-year-old plant seeds we talked last week about. So incredible. Just to put it in perspective, the same time those seeds, those plants were pollinated and brought those seeds, no? There were humans just arrived in the Americas. The last of the Neanderthals lived and died during that period. We didn't really have any sort of civilization during that time. The megafauna still exists and roam the earth. It's remarkable that we, as as the human species, were able to revive in that sense those plants, those specimens, for how fauna, the, the DNA usually isn't very viable after only 1,000 years when they are preserved in good condition. And for them, it's they have to put it. They need to have the DNA in good condition for cloning reasons and such, and science stuff and so on. But the good thing about plants is that they already have the seeds, so it's just a matter of how they are preserved, that they can apparently be stored indefinitely. Now, researchers found those seeds 30, uh, I think 38 meters below the permafrost, and it's suggested that a squirrel might have put those seeds and other seeds into its burrow. And what happened was that the seeds of Silene stenophylla, or how it's called in English, the never-leaved campion, have they were stored mature seeds, but scientists think that they were damaged on purpose by that animal, but it's criminal to prevent it from germination. But they took tissue samples from the immature seeds and put it into vials and successfully managed to germinate them, and even after a year brought them to flower and had them produce seeds on their own, which is just, again, I said, remarkable, because it again, to put it into perspective, they found bones of mammoths and woolly rhinoceros down there beside them. It's just wonderful what they managed to achieve, but so little is talked about that, in my opinion. And They compared those germinated plants with its living counterpart, and it's virtually the same plant, but the leaf of that of the germinated plant had a different shape. I believe it is a bit slightly more thinner than the modern counterpart. So it's interesting to have um, tissue sample. Well, yes, tissue sample, but also now the living specimens to compare it, how 32 years of evolution can change the plant, or rather, didn't change the plant in this part. And I think it's incredible because it has a lot of potential. For example, there's also this gigantic seed storage facility, I believe in Norway, where they store seeds in -7 degrees Celsius, and for crops and all sorts of things, so that no plant would go extinct. And now they see the potential for the future, because in the right in the right conditions, they can store plants virtually indefinitely, and have those seeds prepared and ready to use as soon as they can get germinated. And it's interesting, the potential for what we might find next. For There was the story about that 500-year-old lotus seed I talked about and I want to research about, and then the video I made about the 2,000-year-old um, uh, date palm seeds, and now those 32,000-year-old plant seeds. We may find even older seeds, which would only tickle my interest more in that sort of topic about bringing back living species, bringing back living specimen of those species. For they talk about it so often, bringing back the dodo, the mammoth, but they talk about it since a long time in Jurassic Park. They also talked about it, but nothing really happened, not even with the specimens and species that have gone extinct quite recently, like the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger, and the moa, the New Zealand gigantic flightless birds. But well, as I said, they didn't manage to revive them until now. Un, until now they didn't manage to revive it, and I doubt they will manage to do it in the next couple of years. But here we are in 2012, nearly a dozen years ago, and they brought back those plants, 32,000-year-old plants. It's incredible that no one talks about it. It baffles me, and yeah, no, my throat gets again a bit worse now, I feel. So I want to cut now the video short. I hope you liked this video and also this topic, and I hope you may find other sorts of videos interesting about this field of research, because I would like to make more videos about this, for I'm quite interested in them. And if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments below, and maybe even leave a like or a subscription, and we will see each other next Friday. See ya.